Test, test. Test, test, test. Okay. All right. Okay, so this 73 was homework yesterday. So I can do the cancel, cancel. So cancel, cancel basically means we are doing division. And I can get 12. Then 2/3 times 23, right? Okay, so 2 times 3, 23, 46. And 3/4 times 32 wholes. Okay, 3 times 8, 24. 32. All correct? Okay. Oh, the word is marble? Alright. Okay, 74. Huh? 74 mixed numbers in simplest form, that's a 2, right? So 1/3 times 62 wholes cannot reduce. So you have not really cannot reduce, but you just times and then you will reduce it to its simplest form as a mixed number. So one of the quick ways to do it is by the division. Okay. Remainder 2/3, 20 and 2/3. Okay, it's 20 and 2/3. 20 and 2/3. That's how you read the fraction. Okay. Now, for this one, if you notice, right, I can do actually simplify by 1 step or 2 steps. I can simplify by division by 2. This one here. Okay? And then I get 19 times 3. So you can simplify first before you multiply. There may be some of you who just do 3 times 38. That's actually okay as well. You can do 3 times, you can do 3/4 times yeah, but the number is bigger. Remember, we talked about it previously. 114. Yeah, so the number is bigger, but eventually you will have to simplify as well to 28 and half. So for this one also, you will end up having to do the simplifying steps will continue until you reach the simplest form. Right? Okay. And can you simplify first? I think this one cannot. So it's 288, is it? Times 48. Oh, 288, correct. So 288 sevenths. So it's 41, 17. 41 wholes and 17. Okay? Is it difficult? Okay. Which one is easier? Obviously, this one easier, right? Because the numbers are kinder. They are all factors and multiples. You can find it easily on the times table. Okay, you can cancel easily. But this one cannot really cancel so easy. Then there are more steps involved. So this one you have 125 eighths, right? Am I correct? Then I simplify 25, 15. I trust you are writing your answer. 15, 5, 8. Is this correct? 25 times 5. That's correct. Then divide by 8. Oh, that's correct. 15 and 5, 8. Okay. Okay so far? Then this one you do lah. Okay, let's look at the word problems here. Jing Hong says he do already. And let's take a look at Jing Hong's one first. See whether he did the steps as we said. According to Zhiwei, hey, do you got do race or not? Let's check. Oh, heck, very good. Okay. Someone said, oh my, what's the problem? Messy. Okay, so who thinks that this one a bit messy? Raise your hand. Oh, okay. But let's encourage Jing Hong. Jing Hong, we feel that you can improve on your tidiness. Okay, let's work on that. Okay. Okay, let's take a look. Where's my red pen? Here, fine. Okay. A tank had 74 liters of water. 3/4 of the water. Do you see? Do you see right now? What happened to the fraction here? Is it 3/4 liter or 3/4 of the water? So this is the part I will really highlight very clearly for you to see. This fraction now does not come with the unit liter. So what Jing Hong did here is very right. You must be very clear what the fraction means. 3/4 of the water used to water some plants. How many liters of water were used? Give the answer as a mixed number in simplest form. Okay, under raised step, read. Under E, units. What are the units you should have here? Liter. Right, here says liter. What happened? Never write units. So minus half mark. Okay, never write units. But he checked mixed number and simplest form. Did he check for mixed number and simplest form? Yes, can see that he checked. Let's take a look. So, anybody use the unitary method on this? Okay, very good. Tiffany, can I take a look at yours? Okay, let's take a look at it. Jing Hong says 3/4 of the water used to water plants. So how much water used? So basically it's not asking for remaining, not asking for leftover. So quite straightforward, 3/4 times 24. Look at his working. $222. It is correct. Something looks quite wrong. Yeah, this seems fishy. Yes, 222. What do you think is the problem? The tank of water, the tank is only 74 liters. To get 222, something must be wrong already. How come you have more water than the tank? Okay, so look at the steps. 3/4 times 37. I should get 37 times 3 out of 4. So 37 times 3, I should get 101. Is it correct? Okay. I made a mistake. Let me delete this. Yeah. Now I really get what your friend said. Anybody has a correction tape? Can I borrow a correction tape? Okay, I will use a correction tape because it's my red pen and it's work. Thank you. Yeah. Now I see You know what the it's really very untidy, huh? Let's never mind, we work on it. Okay. Okay, we work on it. Okay, I look at his work, then I copy the wrong number. 3/4 times 74. 3/4 times 74 is the question, right? Then what he did was to simplify first, so that he gets this. If he didn't simplify, right? If it's 37 times 3 is indeed 111. Okay? But if you never simplify, what will be the answer? 2 out of 4. That is if you didn't simplify first. You didn't do any cancel. You straightforwardly times it. So from here, you should see here. From here, you should get converted. So here, this set is wrong already. Why? Because you cannot put equal, and then equal like that. Is 3/4 times 37 222? 3/4 times 74. 3/4 times 74 is not equals to 222. 3/4 times 74 is 111 out of 2. Okay, this is a intermediate working step. You see, you simplify here, but you didn't use this simplification to do working. You went on to do 222 divided by 4. Now, even though the final answer, so right here, 111 divided by 2 is indeed 55.5. So the same for this, the answer is 55.5 liters. However, if you look at his working, even though he get the final answer right, his working is all wrong. This will be 0 marks. You understand what I'm saying? Because here is not correct already. 3/4 times 74 is 111 out of 2. It's not 222. Okay? Now, Tiffany, your unitary method, can we take a look? Hurry. Okay. Looking at Tiffany's unitary method. Okay, compared to tidiness, do you think Tiffany tidy enough? Okay, not so bad, right? Quite tidy. Okay, let's take a look. She did the race. She wrote the units, the base number superpowers. Okay, similar. 4 units is 74 liters. 1 unit is 18.5. Then suddenly there's this change in steps. Why? So suddenly she realized, and then she changed to fraction. So actually, Tiffany, what you did was the fraction method. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so 3 units is 74 times 3/4. The final, this is correct, this is correct, this is correct. Okay, all correct. But I think she didn't know how to move on from here. Now, if I move from the unitary method, what would I be writing? If I move on from her unitary method, this one is fraction times whole number. It's different from what she's writing here. If I move on from what she's writing here, what should I have done? 18.5 times 3. Now, can you see that here she got stuck? She don't know how to continue. So from here, it shows that her unitary method cannot work. Can you understand? Because she don't know how to move on from here. Do you understand what I'm talking about? All right. So end up she swapped back to the method that is fraction times whole number. Do you understand what I'm talking about now? Now, but do you know that by right in P5, this is what you learn next. Okay? So let's say, for example, here, I show you how to do 18.5 times 3. I can either do order of operation. I can either do, let me write this here. 18.5, is this correct first? 74 divided by 4. Let me check. Correct. So this is the step. 1 unit is 18.5 times 3. We can do it by order of operation. Method number 1. Okay, I can use 80 times 3 plus half times 3. So I get 54 plus 1.5. Answer 55.5. That's method number 1. Method number 2, I use 18.5 times 3. I change this into improper fraction. And that will be 37 halves times this. And I get back the same thing. Look, who can understand this now? Very good. Who look at this cannot understand? I have trouble understanding this. Okay, look if you have trouble understanding this, the next unit, you must power up your attention already. Because this is still P5. This is not P6 work. It's not new. It's P5. New for you now because you haven't done it yet. Okay? But it's still doable. So by this unitary can still solve. This is how you do it. Okay. But sometimes you see, according to Tiffany's work and Jim Hong's work, both look like they have the correct answer for question 2. You better be paying attention because I will not go through this again. If I'm marking your work and your work is a blank, I will be very angry. Because you have been given time to try it. Now, this is Jim Hong's method. This is Tiffany's method. You can see that over here, she continue to try the unitary method. So you can see that perhaps Tiffany of understanding, she understands through the unitary method better. And Jing Hong feel that he can do with the fraction rule. Now, both of them look like the similar answers, may be both correct. And then she said, no problem. Tiffany she's not stuck like the previous question with the unitary method. Can anybody explain why is she not stuck compared to the previous question with the unitary method? Misha? The first question, she's got stuck here. She don't know how to move on with the unitary method. But this question, she can continue smoothly. How come? Very good. Good thinking. All right. Now, what is happening is over here, she worked through the division. Anybody draw a model for this? I see. Samantha can show me that. Shabina, I know. Thanks for raising your hand. Okay, very happy. So you can see, what method do you think Samantha used here? She drew a model. Also unitary method. Can you see how she did it? She drew a model of 5 units, 3 units being used for recycling. And the amount that cannot be recycled is clearly 2 units. According to their calculations, the unitary method is a good method here because 415 divided by 5 can be divided nicely. There's no remainder, there's no fraction parts. Like what Musha said, after you divide, it is not like it's not a mixed number like this. If it's a mixed number, very hard to continue. So that's why they can continue and finish this question correctly. Okay, so method 1, method 2, and similar to what Tiffany has done, Samantha drew the model. Nicely done. Let me check their units. Kilograms. Good job. So all of them are correct. You did a different way? Come, show me. Show me, come, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Anybody else have a different way? Oh, okay. This one. What do you think about the tidiness and presentation? Do you think the presentation is nice? Really? I think it can be improved. There's a lot of space here. Can you imagine you go and buy a food, then the auntie put the food on the plate, only put at one corner. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you got a plate, right? The auntie give you food, right? Then put only at one corner. Then the rest is empty space. Yeah. So can you use the space wisely? And now, what other things are missing in this question? Annotations. What else? Race. Race is missing. Annotation is missing. What else is missing? A and B, they just write the answer here. What's missing? Missing units. So before I look at this question, I already feel like, okay, minus mark already. Okay? Not very nice. Okay? But let's look at how he did it. Now, 3/5 times 450. What do you think he's trying to do? Find the. Okay, Audi is saying, I see, you are not able to say it confidently because you can't see here. You have no annotations to see. So this is correct, this is correct, this is correct. But you are finding what is the trash that can be recycled. That's good. Then where did this appear? Where's the equation for this? No, there's no equation. These are working, not equation. Okay? Can you work on this, please? So, but it's good. Thanks for coming into the front and showing us your answer. Okay, you got it right. What he means by different, all these says his is a bit different. What's his difference? Okay, good that you can tell what's the difference. That's the important part about. How do you know why is the method different? I hope you can improve. Okay, recycle 3/5 times, and then you do the working. Equal answer units. Okay, then this A, B cannot be recycled. Cannot be recycled. It will be answer minus answer give you answer units. Can you do that? Okay. All right. Good job. Good job. I draw a star for you. Snarly. Because you come to the front and share briefly. Good job. Okay, then what do you do? Show me. Okay. No, she has yet a different method. Okay. She didn't. What did she do here? Instead of subtraction. So all of them, what they do? This is this one is Junhong, right? For B, he used subtraction. For Tiffany, B also she used subtraction. But Samantha, she used multiplication. And For not since you use multiplication throughout of fractions. Can you tell why it's different? Yes, Ayla. You're saying something. Say it confidently, don't mind. Maybe it's wrong, it's okay. Yes, you. Why she times? Come. 3/5 is the recyclable. True fifth is not recyclable. That's why she times. Very good. So you can see that you know the other fraction of the not recycled, the whole is still the same. Okay? You can do this. Okay, very good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I like the word statement. This is very nice. And the annotations is very good. And the units, awesome. Okay, and she wrote down the word statement, very nice. Now, everybody, I need you to find your identity. My way of doing it that works the best and can help me to earn the marks. Okay, I don't want photocopier. They are all individuals and all special. I don't want everybody the same answer, the same representation. I'm not photocopying machine here. Photocopy you want. Okay. Doesn't make sense. You have to find the way that suits you most. Okay? So I'm not going to go through question by question and ask you to copy. Doesn't make sense. You will only learn when it makes sense to you yourself. Understand? But right now you can choose up. We have Tiffany. We have Hong. We have Samantha. We have Rosie. Okay? If you really must copy, at least you know what choice you are making. Okay? Okay. Last page. Okay, next one. Next one, did they finish also? Okay, this is Nosin, right? Nosin. This is Samantha. Anybody want to show your answer as well? Haven't done yet. Anybody else want to show your answer? Okay. You're done? No, you want to show the answers? Don't be shy, it's okay. Yeah. You're really okay. We see how we can each improve ourselves. Some of us need to improve our handwriting, some of us need to improve our presentation, some of us need to learn how to okay. Yeah. Okay, but you have a bit of a fancy color here. I like this part where you draw arrows to write down what you are indicating what is it that you're doing. Okay? Good job. Thank you. Okay, that's fine. Okay. All right. Let's just do a quick check now. This person, who is this? Samantha. She didn't do annotations here. She went to the toilet. So I go so I can badmouth her or she has a toilet. Samantha is really a very cute and lovable girl. Yeah. She really tries very hard. Yeah. She really works very hard. I met her at Jurong Point last week. Yeah. She was queuing for bread. Like queuing for mommy helps to. My mommy is taking the bread. Now I was like, hey, are you gonna pay for the bread? Why are you in the queue? Yeah. The basement store, the Japanese bread store. I said, oh, Samantha, you're queuing? Are you going to pay? Yeah, she called me first. I didn't see her. Then she called me. Yeah. Okay, then I saw her mommy after that. Okay. All right. So yeah, John, improve a bit. Your presentation can be even nice. But I like that you partition your work. Okay, it's very nice. Okay, annotation. Mrs. Ali dropped 3/8 of 32 kilometers and walked the rest of the distance. Okay, what was the distance Mrs. Ali walked? Okay, actually I like all these different ways of doing. Very nice. For me, I like to draw picture, as you already know. So I will draw a bit of picture of a person jogging, Mrs. Ali. Oops, sorry, the hand. Oh, Samantha's back. We were talking about you or in the toilet. Okay, so there was this distance, and then this whole, what's the whole here? What's the whole here? The whole distance. The whole distance is 32. This is the all of the distance. This is the whole that we are looking at. So the whole all of the distance is 32. And then but part of it she walked. This is the 32 kilometer. So okay, sorry, this part not correct. She jogging only 3/8. So I must cut this to 8 parts. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 8 parts. So that means she jogged from the starting point here, maybe here, around here. Then she pants. Oh. She jogged until here. Then she started panting. Then she walked. Okay, so that is if you like to draw, what rest of the distance? What's the fraction of the distance that she walked? 5/8. That's what Jun indicated. That's what Tiffany indicated. 5 units, that's what Samantha indicated. And this one is no sin, that's what she indicated. Okay, let's start checking this. So 5/8 is the one that she walked. She walked. She did 3/8. What happened here? Oh, suddenly shows that you never check, right? Oh, never mind, it's okay. We all make mistakes once in a while, and we just have to learn from mistakes, and then try not to make the mistake during exam. So she had an extra step here. Suddenly she walked 32 kilometers, so wrong already. Okay. The total is 32. See? What happens when you make the annotations like this? If I had indicated, like how I did, the whole distance or the total is 32. If your answer is 32, clearly it doesn't make sense already. So wrong, wrong. Okay, never mind, do correction. Okay, here. This one, model is correct. 38 divided by 4. So 1 unit is 4. 5 unit is 20 kilometer. Very good. Okay, well done. Okay, this one. Oh, careless mistake. 8 units is 32. 1 unit is 4 kilometer. Okay, 5 units is 4 times 5. Oh, careless mistake here. Okay, never mind. But quite nice, right? Okay, still very good. Okay, I like the race part here. Okay, next here. Jun Hong. 3/8, 5/8, 20 kilometer. Okay, very good. Good job. Okay, I like the annotation. Okay, let's look at the last one, pineapple. Okay. Wow, there are 2 fractions here. Looks complicated. If you draw model, can draw or not? Can draw. Okay, some people drew some models, some people didn't. Okay, let's look at the model drawing. Okay, this one, Tiffany. May bake 126 tarts. So that's the whole. So according to her whole is 126 tarts altogether. Total, the whole. Out of these 126 tarts, half are chocolate tarts, 1/3 strawberry tarts. Pineapple tarts is question mark, that's the rest. Now, how many pineapple tarts? Do you think a model can help her to see how many units? Not really, right? A bit hard. A bit hard. But looking at what she did here, do you think you can move on? If I use hers on her model, do you think I can move on? Actually, yes. Why? Because I know one hole, right? It's all the touch, right? It's all the touch. All the touch. That's 126 touch. So if I talk about pineapple, it'll be one whole minus the half minus the 1/3. Is it okay? Okay, let's look at Samantha. Samantha said she managed to draw a model. Looks so special. Oh, interesting. How did she get 6 units here? But the Q never say 6 units, eh? Who said that? Change the denominator. Very good. Okay, let's take a look. First, she draw this total model. Total is one whole. Then she draw C for chocolate. That's half. That's correct. And then 1/3. Wait, but something is not very right. 1/3 of them. 1/2 of them. Let's take a look at this. Half of them, who is them? Who is them? Half of them. Is it chocolate? 126, very good. Half of them, then half of me is half of the 126. So it's the total. Half of the total is 136 cards. Then this is 1/3 of them. 1/3 of them is what? The them, is it chocolate tart? Is it strawberry? Who is them? It's still the total. The them is still 126 cards. It's still the total. Here shows you 1/3 of the total is strawberry tarts. Does this fraction look like 1/3 of the total? So this is wrong already. The model is wrong. Why? Why does it look wrong? How many units does strawberry look like if you look at the model? 1 unit, right? 1 unit out of how many? Is it 3? What's the total? If you say 1 unit, and out of 3, what is this 3? Is this 3 the whole units? No. It was 3 units out of the half unit. So this is wrong already. If you see here, that 1 unit here is a small unit here. Then if you draw like that, the strawberry becomes how many units? 1 out of? Samantha, 1 out of what? 6 already. So this is wrong already. Okay? Those of you who don't understand, this model is part of fraction of the remainder. You also need to learn how to draw this model next week. Okay? But right now, she used this model wrongly. Why did she draw this model? Perhaps she has some experience. Someone has taught her before fraction of the remainder. This is a topic unit that's slightly after this, which she used here is wrong already. We are not talking about fraction of the rest of the tasks. The them is still part of whole. So what should the model look like? That's not actually said a most important keyword. This is the whole task, one whole. Half is chocolate. Half can understand, right? This half. Then 1/3 of them are strawberry. Actually, the whole is still the same thing. Never change. Of them is still the same them. It's still all of the 126 tasks. The whole is still the same. So if I really want to say I'm looking at, I cut the whole into thirds now. half, one third. Hey, sorry. How do I combine the models? Just now Ashley said one most important keyword. I change the denominator into an equivalent fraction. So if I chop the whole into 6 parts, like what Samantha did, that was a good idea. If I have 6 units as the whole, what is the half? 3. Can see? If I say 1/3, then 1/3 is how many units? 1/3 is how many? So half the equivalent fraction will be 3/6, right? So 1/3 is how many 6? 2/6. Very good. Who said that? Oh, good. Okay, well done. Well done. So it's 2 units. This one is strawberry. This one is chocolate. Then this is the pineapple. Can you see the slight difference between my model and Samantha's model? Okay. So if I want to use the unitary method, okay, it will be 6 unit, 126 tarts. How many units for pineapple? 1 unit. It will be 126 divided by 6. Answer will be 21. Look at how powerful unitary method is. If you get the model correctly drawn, if your understanding is great, the answer is only 1 step. Wait. Can you see how powerful the unitary method is? But that is given if you can draw the correct model. If you draw the model wrongly, you get the wrong number of units. Okay? If you draw the model correctly, it started with changing what Ashley said, the keyword. I changed the fractions to equivalent fractions to see the units clearly. Then 1 step finish already. This is how powerful the unitary method can be. Now, if I go back to what Tiffany has done, she doesn't know how to draw the models such that it looks correct. The units are the same size. But she does know that half is a bigger portion compared to 1/3. But she cannot continue to see what fraction it is. So you have to rely on the fraction to solve. Which is the same way, in a way. Then from here, she can continue on. Now, what Jing Hong did was here. Half times 60, half times 126 to find chocolate. I like how he presented this. Chocolate is half times 126, that's 63. Strawberry is 1/3 times 126, that's 42. To find pineapple, I just subtract 21. All correct. This shows his good understanding of how to calculate fractions. His calculations for fractions very good, fractions of a set. So you just use fractions throughout. Can. But how many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Good. Still good. If this one, I need at least 2 steps. One more step will be from the pineapple If I go back to unitary, it will be 6 units. If I go back to the unitary method, it will be 6 units is 126 parts. And then 1 unit, I'll get back to the same step. 126 divided by 6. If I use the fraction method, it will be 1/6 times 126. So at least 2 more steps. At least 2 steps. You understand what I'm talking about? So I have Junhong, that's correct. Completely fraction steps. You have fraction combined by unitary. Or if you draw the model correctly, just 1 step. Okay? Now, Nano C has one other method. Now she has a 12-12. Is it okay? Is 12-12 okay? Who says okay? Who says not okay? Who says I don't know? Okay. Then my answer for you is, what is the meaning of 12-12? 1 whole. So 1 whole. Just now we changed the 1 whole into become. Just now we changed the 1 whole to become what? 6. Why? So that we can subtract these 2. We change these 2 to equivalent fractions so that we can subtract. So I can change it to 6. Can I change it to 12? Can I change it to 12? Yes, can. Because it's still 1 whole. But what about the fraction? And then after that, she don't know what she do here. And then she stopped and she gave up. And then she changed to another method. Then you change to Junhong's method already. But then you have calculation error. All the careless mistake, I see last answer, -1 mark, -1 mark, -1. Yeah, careless mistake, yeah? See, careless mistake. Yeah, but after this step, she changed to Junhong's method already. But if this, is this method, can you continue from this method? Can now, why cannot? Then it's just 12 minus half minus 1/3. But I don't really need to go up to 12. Because if I change to 12, it will just be 6/12 and then 4/12. Equivalent fraction. But I don't have to do that, I just change it to the next common multiple. Okay, now, so we are done for this question. Roshan, you say you use another method. Is it one of the methods that's shown here? Yes. Which one is it? Shown Junhong's method. Okay. Now, so I'm done going through this. Look, I must tell you honestly right now, I can tell who are the ones who are suffering what to say. And you are not thinking, and your brain is not with me already. So not dream to which country. Or just trouble. And for Singwei, she's already completely on a different topic. Because she's smiling. And she's not smiling because I can see that she's understood the mess. She's smiling because of the conversation she had with Stephen just now. But I decided not to stop and scold her. It's your choice. I respect your choice. What I need you to know very clearly is this. This one, when it comes out in the exam, is still considered a level 1 question. 2-step work problem. If you can see how I did it, it was only 1 step. It's worth 2 marks. This is the kind of question that you should get correct. The more difficult questions are later on. These are common easy questions. It's supposed to be easy. If you are finding this difficult or having trouble paying attention, or your mind is somewhere else, you have to go back home, play the video again, pause yourself, sit through it one more time, and think through how are you to help yourself to find this easy. Because it's supposed to be easy. Number. You understand what I'm talking about? Because if you can't do this question,